Hey guys, this is going to be a bit of an unorganized video today, but I just had this idea for um, to give a sort of outline of the purpose of the hive mind and this organic portal army that we find ourselves uh, swimming within. And I've been thinking recently because this kind of stuff, looking into people's true nature and seeing how programs they are and how hopeless it is to get them to think outside of the conditions that they're presented with and took into themselves externally, without programming their own minds, just input, process and output is the name of the game for these people. um, there could be, I've been thinking, esoteric knowledge is actually all around us. Um, and it mainly comes from an act of courage of being able to look within yourself and understand your own truths. Maybe not your own truths, because there is an objective set of laws which govern this reality, but instead I think I meant more to say, see the world in an unbiased way. Kind of push the ego aside for a second, and I'm not one of those fucking new age people who say, oh, we need to destroy the ego. No, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to speak to you guys and communicate this kind of information without language. Language constitutes the ego, but I mean pushing the ego aside for a little bit such that you can see reality as it really exists. And from my point of view, all this COVID stuff is just a bunch of fear mongering. I don't really see it happening in my daily life. I don't know anyone who's got it. I know friends of friends of friends who's got it, but then did they actually get it, or was it due to the I can't remember. The last time I looked into this, it was something like a 50% false positive rate with a test that it's not even targeting the specific virus, but a group of viruses in the form of exosome, or expressions of viruses in the form of exosomes, which govern just a group of coronaviruses, not COVID or anything like that. But yeah, anyway, there's all that stuff, and there's all this fear mongering on the news when it comes to major global events, and it's just the knowledge is right here. We can see that, oh, this whole place is, yeah, sure, this place is one, but I know that my soul seems to be resonating with this place of oneness, but it's not exactly part of this place. It's somewhat separate. One in the sense of the collective drive for nature to push itself towards, or to fight against entropy, which seems to be a consistent force within this 3D meat sack domain, and thus for life to push against entropy, thus inducing suffering, which I'm not going to agree with the Buddhist belief that life is all about suffering. I think that, well, I want to hope, because you had to first hope that truth did exist before you discovered it, which is the original question that caused us to leap out onto this path. So I want to hope that life is not entirely about suffering. But getting onto the main points about what the purpose of these this hive mind is all about, perhaps obviously without these organic portals around us, and for us to question our own sense of self, and for us to see so clearly the evil that exists in the world, and for us to drill ourselves down to our own base nature in order to filter out the millions of traps and possessions and false salvations that the external culture provides to us in order to get us to nullify our sense of self. Like all of that stuff, if this stuff never existed, then I don't think we would even embark on this journey. So perhaps these are the conditions which are required for the soul to, in a sense, rediscover itself, and you know, act in the possession of the organic portal, because this body, I'm a soul that has a body. This meat sack avatar is an organic portal, and I'm literally an observer translating intuition, which acts as the medium between the spiritual domain and the physical reality. Yeah, like I'm using language to transmute that gnosis to this place. But it definitely takes someone to be able to observe their reality in order to introspect on it. So yeah, I mean, this is just some of my thoughts on the reason why we're perhaps so outnumbered. Perhaps it's not supposed to be that we could ever reach a critical point in number where we could outnumber these people, or take control of the popular beacons of information that the organic portals worship, which are controlled by the psychopaths, who only are able to get into that position by working with the reality, which rewards psychopathic behaviour, and gains a monopoly on the information field and gain a monopoly on the group mind. Because I don't think that beings with empathy and compassion are capable of doing that. I certainly don't want to rule over anyone. If anything, that degrades my own spiritual currencies, whatever form they might exist in. There's some, I think maybe there's some karmic consequence to having that kind of intention. Maybe these psychopaths who rule over the organic portal world are actually the most doomed people, despite them arrogantly thinking that they're the top of the food chain. Perhaps they're the most doomed out of all of us. But yeah, maybe without these organic portals being here, I wouldn't have reached the stage that I'm at now in terms of my own quest for truth. Now, I'm in my mid-20s, so it's like a whole life of this. It's quite daunting, but perhaps there's more depth to go into here with regards to esotericism. I don't know, just a quick bunch of ramblings from me. Leave your thoughts and comments down below, I'd appreciate that. And have a good day, everyone. Adios.